Maybe for when people fall in love, to use the phrase that you're using, maybe that experience for a while allows a kind of freedom from the egoic self for a while, because just temporarily you're filled with a kind of I don't know, a kind of spirit is there or something, where you're so in love with somebody or something that you can kind of forget about yourself a little bit. But of course we all know that that kind of honeymoon period, it doesn't last forever. And in one way it's good that it doesn't last forever, because if it did last forever, we would never have any kind of deeper search inside ourselves, and we would still feel that the answers and the solutions to our sense of lack are to be found outside of ourselves, in somebody, in some object, in some pursuit, in some place. But of course all of these things outside of ourselves, at some point they kind of let us down, let's put it like that. They let the ego down, because at a certain point they're not behaving or responding in the ways that we would want them to respond. And often the response to that is, well, if I can just get them to react and respond and behave like this, then again everything will be all right. But because God loves us so much, then it will not be like that. Somehow we have to discover that our essence is love, and that our essence is pure divinity. Now, how are we going to find that if we are just fixed on looking for it outside? We're only going to really come within, truly come within, when we honour the outside, but we're no longer looking to it for fulfillment or for redemption. For some people, they came to the point where the outside world, so to speak, kind of stopped working for them in the way that previously it was working. Maybe a relationship ended, maybe a job ended, maybe reputation got destroyed, an illness came along, something like this, which really took away the illusion of stability in the outside world. And it forced those people to really be still, to really stop and discover something inside themselves which is not subject to being with a certain person, or being in a certain place, or conditions being a certain way. The discovery of that space of inner stillness, inner silence, that is a much more reliable, trustworthy place in which to look for truth, because it's inside you. It's here. It's ever present inside you, and everything else is coming and going around that, but that itself is always here. So if truth is what you're after, and if self-realization is what you're after, you have to be willing to look in this direction, to first come to the place where you begin to go deeper than just your conditioned habits and behaviors. That something begins to become conscious of that realm of activity, and it itself is not involved in it. So at first you're becoming very clear that all of that activity is taking place in front of you. That something is able to watch and observe all that activity. When that is clear for you, that everything is kind of passing through, everything is an object passing through, then our attention becomes more focused on the subject itself. Like, What is the subject that is aware of all of these passing objects? In fact, who truly am I? What truly am I? And as we begin to explore this inquiry inside ourselves, then we are discerning what is real and what is unreal. What is real is what is ever present. What is unreal is what is passing. So to just be clear that ultimately you are not the passing. You cannot be the passing movement, because that arises, has a lifespan and passes. And this is the same with all thought, all feeling, all emotion, all sensation. That all of that is passing through. Then you're now looking at seeing what is it inside you that is conscious of this passing. Is that passing? And just be still. Be quiet inside yourself. Stop looking for more objects. Truth is not another object. It's the very space in which everything else is moving. See if that which is conscious of everything else, see if that is an object, and see if that can ever change. Because you must somehow come into this inquiry in a very naked way, without concepts, beliefs, ideas about how life is. Don't try to get truth to fit into your idea about life. Just come in completely open, completely undefended. Just allow life to somehow surprise you, because truth is not an object. It's the very space in which all objects are moving. And ultimately, we are not going to discover ourselves as another object. We are going to see that we are the formless inside, in which all objects are taking place. But ourself, we are not an object ultimately. Relatively, of course, there is a body here. All of these things are here. But ultimately, what is the ultimate position of our self? It is the seer of all of this. And when your attention, when your focus becomes kind of tuned in to the seer, then you're coming into a very a subtle realm of consciousness, where you're not so much interested in kind of big experiences now. You're just coming to a very quiet, sober reflection in oneself. It's very, very beautiful, very beautiful for those who are attracted to it, because not everyone is attracted to that, and I wouldn't be trying to get everyone attracted to that. It's more if that is somehow inside your own heart, that there is an attraction to truth, there is an attraction to self-discovery, then these are some of the things that we must begin to contemplate. And as you come into that contemplation, there is great support for you, because you will see that now with internet and all of these things, there are many teachings, many online possibilities where people, they don't have to travel across to India or find some sadhu in a cave. They can just sit at home and they're in satsang. They're right there with their family, with their job, their life is all normal. Yet inwardly contemplating the nature of the self. This, for me, this is a wonderful use of internet, and wonderful use of modern day how modern day life is being explored through consciousness itself.